And I want to be getting XP on a DPS job. Actually, I think Warrior's my lowest. No. Dragon's still the lowest. And I need to dispel the glamour on this. No, not desynth. We're probably, for the most part, done in Garlemald for now. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to everyone, and continue on talking with Livingway. I hate to admit it, but I did rather like the carrot. Well, I'm sure the Loporrits would hop at the chance to expound upon carrots in exhaustive detail. Perhaps it's time we moved on. No, let's keep going. Hungry for more carrots? Fear not. You can eat to your heart's content after you've seen the rest of Bestway's burrow. A styled hero, Livingway is eager to show you more of the moon's wonders. I think we've all had our fill of carrots for now. Let's move on to other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way. Alright, so where are we headed? Okay, the south side of the Curatorium. Let me see, there is... Okay, they're both in the north side of the Curatorium, both of the Aether Currents. Yeah, southwest. It's literally like on top of this platform. Oh, there it is. I knew it was close. And then there's one more that's a little more to the northwest. Okay, this is getting annoying, dude. Now, the next one should be, like, over this direction somewhere. Yeah, northwest. I think it might be up on top of there. Which case, how do I get up there? Can I just walk up this? I think I can. Yeah, I can. Yeah, just west. Excuse me, sir, I'm busy. Up there it is. Now, how do I get up there? Okay, I saw stairs. Okay. So that's the Aether Currents in the Curatorium. Now we need to head on south into the clothing area. See, that's the two in the Curatorium, right? Yeah. And then we'll head over to the... Yeah, we're heading to the south side now. This place is pretty interesting. It's kind of funny that their knowledge is completely outdated. And I can imagine their logicalness partially comes from Sharlayan, assuming, I know I've said this multiple times, I'm assuming that the people that they made contact with is old Sharlayan, which is why they're preparing all of this stuff. Garments born of the heavens, crafted with methods ancient and forgotten, dress befitting we who walk in shade, stewards of the esoteric. Whatever you say, Urianger. Do you suppose the clothes they prepared will be glossy and grossly oversized as the carrots? Maybe. Or they'll just be regular robes. It's hardly sun-silk tapestries, but perhaps we'll be pleasantly surprised. Here we are, the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magics. I mean, technically they're traditional, but not for us. Hydaelyn, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the selfsame affinity for her people possessed. With her other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra vis we needed. My, how resourceful. Ah, the sweet sound of recognition. You will also be impressed to hear that we've read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, I presume? This has all been taken into account with our designs, or you can buy script gear, which allows you to do it for all of your crafting professions. But why take my word for it when you can simply try on your clothes? Make yourself known to the workers, and they will see to the rest. Okay. If you're worried about sizing, don't be. It should be a simple matter to adjust our concepts as required, and it will be required. I mean, if you're making it with creation magics, then you just need to change your concept slightly, like Living Way just said. Shouldn't be that much of a problem. Anyway, we're gonna talk to Clothing Way or something? Or is it Tailoring Way? We'll see. Restless Loporrit. Ah, it's you! One of the visitors of Etheirys. Goodness me, Mapping Way wasn't kidding. You really are smaller than the Watcher. Oh right, you're here to try on a set of clothes, yes? What would you have me fashion for you today? An outfit that embodies my bloodlust. Something simple yet functional. A fashionable and refined ensemble. Yeah, let's do that. Fashionable, right. Ahem. This will only take a moment. There we are, all finished. I mean, I guess. A perfect fit, if I do say so myself. I'll be honest, I knew nothing of fashion, let alone fashion of Etheirys, but I'd wager no one down there has ever worn something like this fine ensemble. Perhaps you can start a new trend. I mean, I guess. Would you look at that? Speechless. And there I thought you may not like it. If you've a mind to try something else, why not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they'll be happy to oblige. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. You will change back to your normal garments if you move too far away. Look to your map for the garment changes area of the effect. Speak with the Restless Loporrit to restore or prolong the garment change. Can I try a different outfit? Oh no, it just resets it. Oh well. Let's go ahead and talk to whoever we're talking to over here. Ah, Jubilant Loporrit. Let's head up top there. Ah, no one said you'd be coming. How can I help you? You wish to try my clothes? Really? Of course, it would be an honor. Did you have anything in mind? Let's see, got anything a little more flair? I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design. Surprise me. Just surprise me. I think I can handle that. Let's see. This should do. Let's see what outfit this is gonna be. It's like kind of the same, but different. Some of my best work yet. It's a relatively new concept incorporating an idea that's never been tried with clothing before. Fragrance, can you smell the carrots? Ah, simply divine. I was worried how the concept would turn out when put to the proof, but it looks stunning on you. Won't you go show Living Way? I'm sure she's eager to see what you've come up with. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. You will change back to your normal garments if you move too far away. Look to your map for the garment change area of effect. Speak to... yeah. Same thing as before. Okay, I guess we'll go show Living Way our new fashion. Okay, Living Way, we got a couple issues with these outfits. My, don't we look splendid? I guess you could say that. The result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. Shh, you needn't speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and we Loporrits in your eyes. No, those are tears. No doubt your friends feel the same, having sampled our creation. I want to see what they have. Nope, there we go. I mean, they're all okay. Sorry to have kept you waiting. They insisted we sample all of their concepts ere we returned. Verily, 'tis an ensemble much becoming. Then why are you posing, Urianger? Dot, 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 dot. I think it's past time we return these clothes. Yes, yes. You all look like court jesters. But not like the Kefka kind. I was so confident our garments would meet you with your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher taught us that in this time, everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. Yeah, well, those are the old times. We thought we could appeal to the modern tastes by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but... Please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people of Etheirys, they will most certainly have need for your attire. 'Tis clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my tastes, even if it is of inferior make. But there are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions for the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we've underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we'd memorized every tome we received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe we're doing you a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. No, Living Way. There are some who might agree, people who prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflection of the sources as well? Not that I'm aware of. We were born of Hydaelyn's love for Etheirys, and the salvation of the people on the star, and that star alone has ever been our aim. Surely it's better to devote ourselves to saving one world than to divide our efforts across 14 and to risk failing them all. I suppose you're right. Living Way, might we have leave to explore Bestway's burrow unattended? You have given us much to think about. You know, Urianger's already started his thinking. He's got the thinking pose ready. I'm going. Why, certainly. Until later, then. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wished to speak with you about. Let us be off, shall we? Wonder what he wants to learn. No, who's this? Fidgeting Loporrit. Let's see. Yep, let's go talk to that fidgeting Loporrit, see what he's up to. My apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone was talking about visitors come from Etheirys, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Etheirys refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we've made a mess of things. Oh, but wait, you still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is, I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Growing Way, by the way. See you soon. Alright, let's head on over there. To the teleporter. Teleporter? Let's see, next to Aether Current is... I got the 2 in the center area. There's 2 in the eastern area. But we'll worry about that once we actually head over there. Oh, there it is. Okay, Growing Way. You're here! You're really here! Thank you so much. Sorry, what should I call you? Brilliant Mason, eh? Crikey, even your names are amazing. Well, Brilliant, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready. Sure, let's head on up. Or over, wherever we're going.
Ready in the teleporter.
That's not good.
Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
Oh no. Oh, there's Urianger over there.
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Oh, this is convenient.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
Well, yes.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting. If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Etheirys are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand?
Okay, now we're gonna figure out who they are.
Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Or, quite quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too.
That's an understatement.
You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
The fact that Urianger is being trusted to do this is just a reference to all the other times he's basically done this.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once
Yep.
more.
Come again?
Ah, idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask, yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I'm terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
I'm still telling you that their contacts are Charlian. And that's why they're preparing all this stuff. Okay, let's talk to Growing Way. Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed off for now, I've rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. Ah, a shame you couldn't see it though. You really would have liked it. Oh, I'm sure I would have, but it was probably a bit too big for my taste. A bit too spacious. You can now travel between the upper and lower floors of Bestway's burrow via the teleporter. Alright. All's veil that Endsvale. Growing Way is keen to put his recent mishap behind him. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed on was that the people of Etheirys wouldn't take action to save themselves unless it was far too late. And that I can 100% tell you is correct. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than wanting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept their invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you to the east end of the burrow. Follow me. Alright, and then I know that there's 2 Aether Currents over there. Let's see, and then there's probably both of these are Aether Current quests? No, I think one of these is probably the... I'll look that up later. Right now, let's head on over and continue MSQ. Okay, Growing Way. Good, you're here. Through this door is the Greatest Endsvale. It was named as such because of its veil to end all veils, the most beautiful forest of all you've ever seen. We understand the people of Etheirys enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces, and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. Okay. Sounds good to me. Okay, so the Aether Currents in this place are... There's one to the left of the door, and then there's one at the southeastern area. Should be one, like, literally on down over here. But let's talk to Growing Way. Oh, wait, no, Growing Way is a bit far out here. Yeah, there it is. I mean, guess this is natural looking, but it's not greenery. I can see someone absolutely hating, someone who likes those strolls through natural spaces. It's nice, but it's not what they were going for. Also, considering how many people are in this world, I don't think we're gonna have enough space. So the next one's like right here. Yeah, there it is. Now this is better. Okay, those are all the aether currents in these areas. Okay, growing way. Want to tell me about this place? It's not bad. It's just not exactly the natural spaces that they were told about. So, what do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I couldn't see a forest or the trees. I didn't see any... Wait, you don't mean those crystals out there are just as transcendent as burying your face into a choco's plumage and taking a good long whiff. Oh man. So, I just realized something. Assuming that they're getting all their information from Sharlayan, it's really interesting considering if they're getting their information from Sharlayan. That's just what I'm speculating so far. I know I keep on saying this, and it'd be really funny if I get it wrong. But if you think about it, if you were to give somebody who knows nothing of this world the information that we have in like encyclopedias and stuff, what kinds of things would they create? And I think this is the kind of things that you would end up with. You'd end up with things that are like trees but aren't trees. It's like trying to explain color to a blind person. How do you explain a color? That's slightly different. Somebody who's never seen a tree before, and you just tell them it's a tree. You walk through them in pleasant spaces. And then they create something like this. Anyway, that's my commentary. Let's do, yeah, these crystals. You mean these are trees? Right you are. Our forest is made of crystals and constructs, dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see, or as far as the game can render. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as that you'd find in a forest of Etheirys. The fountain here beside us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I mean, the thing is, all of this looks nice. It's just not, it misses the thing that a lot of people would see in the natural spaces. It doesn't have the plants and the flora and the stuff that people look for in it. And yet, it's so close. It's really interesting. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch in a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. I guess I could. And that's what I was doing on break. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight with the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from Etheirys. Could we maybe... Okay, growing way. You will? Oh, be still, my quivering whiskers. Growing way is now accompanying you. Keep him... Yeah, the usual. Oh, let's take a walk with Growing way. I mean, Like I've said multiple times, it looks nice, it just kind of misses the point. Just like pretty much all of the stuff we've been doing. Or they've been doing. I was thinking, Brilliant, that I could be more helpful if you might teach me a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiark, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Hydaelyn gave us our first task: furnish the moon with a propulsion system capable of facilitating travel to other stars. A very minor task, you know. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Hydaelyn shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done, 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, can you tell us about these crystals? They look a lot like the crystals we saw in Eden. What? No, I'm not sure what it is you with crystals on Etheirys, but we don't eat them. Well, what gave you the impression that we eat them? And certainly not this one. It's possessed of all 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium, just like in Eden. Okay. It's worth mentioning, though, that because of Hydaelyn's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis and all, manipulating the elements here is different than it might be on Etheirys. A conjuring of fire would sooner dry your clothes than singe them, for example. Put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. That makes sense. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiark in check. Understandable. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. Who would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was the brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt, and that bizarre red satellite was sent up. Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what? What are we talking about here? Okay, it's the Alligans. It's always the Alligans. But that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Etheirys, the Alligans' mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiark. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Hydaelyn informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. I just realized the weather here is just moon dust. I guess if there's not much ethereal or etheric energies changes, the weather's not going to change that much. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact that they're massive crystals and not trees. Oh, they got little crystals on top? Oh, okay. What are they doing? I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the glowing spears. I mean, that's what I would have guessed. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to our sun, and do so better even. A sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiating from energy is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather a close approximation to it. That's really useful. The things they come up with are really good. They just slightly miss the point. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed, this forest is truly the greatest. It's so good, but it's so not right. There's something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh right. The propulsion systems and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Etheirys. Why not go and visit Etheirys yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Hydaelyn. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find the people of Etheirys we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. I still want to know who the people are, and I'm still gonna keep on saying it's Sharlayan until they finally tell us. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited. Hopeful Hydaelyn would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and though her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you would like Greatest Endsvale, I knew it. Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. There you are. I take it you've already received a grand tour? A shame we missed it. Growingway, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you all are more than welcome to continue looking about the burrow. Now, come along, Growingway. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? I see Urianger's conspiring with them again. Like every other expansion. They spent 12,000 years preparing this? With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. Oh, I don't doubt that we're going to start seeing signs very soon. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you will excuse me. Well, I mean, we know Urianger is doing some more sus stuff, but, you know. Huh? What do you suppose has suddenly tickled his fancy? 'Tis clear clear now that the difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Etheirys is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I am not alone in my reticence.